I've got 10:01. We're going to call the meeting to order, and that's agenda item number 1, and we'll move right on to agenda item 2, invocation and the U.S. and Texas flag pledges. Mr. Jack, would you do the invocation for us?
Our Father God, we thank you for being with us this morning and ask that you would join this meeting, guide our thoughts, our emotions, and our activities. You draw each one of the items on the agenda that comes before us to a successful conclusion without rancor or consternation. And Father, we thank you for all that are here. Keep them safe, keep them healthy, and be with Robin, particularly this morning. Watch over her, keep her safe, bring her back to us safely. In your Son's name we ask these things. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jack. We're going to do the U.S. pledge first. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. You may be seated. Item agenda number 3 is public comments, and we have 2 speakers today, and I'm going to call on Miss Stacy Terry first, and I believe it's
I'd like to be on there. I forgot to sign up.
okay. We can get you done right here. Yes, sir. He'll bring you a sheet, and we'll go ahead and proceed. Stacy Terry, it's a non-agenda item.
Yes, sir.
Come on, you're ready.
Okay. My printer didn't work, so I have to read on the phone. Good morning, board. I'll keep this short because you already know me. Over the past year, many of us have spent countless hours in meetings, reading documents, and watching public discussions, because what happens here does not only live on paper. It affects communities, families, businesses, and long-term security of this region. And I think we've learned something important through that process. Weakness exists. And in some of those weaknesses, we have now been exposed in plain view. Across Texas, water is becoming more valuable, more contested, and more important every year. Population growth is not slowing, demand is not shrinking, state and regional planning continue to show long-term pressure on available supplies. That is not speculation, that's where Texas is headed. Another fact is, in recent months, citizens have watched growing outside interest in the district, its member cities, and the decisions made here. People are paying attention because they understand what is at stake. Lake of the Ponds is not just a line on a report, it is the water source that is tied to this district's mission and history. And recent events have highlighted concerns that deserves attention, not later, but now. While this community is engaged, and while there is still opportunity to strengthen confidence within the district. Under current requirements, someone can apparently qualify by meeting technical minimums, including obtaining taxable property shortly before seeking appointment. And if that satisfies the law, then the public has every right to ask whether the law and the policy are doing enough to protect the intent of local representation. Because there is a difference between what is legal, what is ethical. There is a difference between checking a box and earning the trust that should come with stewardship over a public resource that is important. The point is this: if a position overseeing one of East Texas' most important water resources can be influenced by a technical minimum alone, then citizens should ask whether stronger safeguards are needed. They should ask whether representation still reflects the communities that built this district, support it, and depend upon it. This district was created to serve the 7 member cities and protect the communities that it built and still depends upon. Lake of the Ponds is simply not stored water, it's infrastructure, its economy, future, and for many of us, home. That is why decisions around it must be made with transparency, caution, and loyalty to the people of this district that it was created to serve. As pressure surrounding Texas water increases, outside interest and competing priorities will continue to exist. That is not unusual and it's not going away, but that reality makes local safeguards more important, not less important. So many of you ask difficult questions. We need to be calm, publicly, and without apology. Do we have enough guardrails? Do we have enough protections to preserve local accountability when future pressure becomes even stronger? Do we have enough transparency, enough safeguards to keep this district accountable to the communities it was created to serve, not just now, but when the stakes grow even higher. Because weaknesses have been shown, and once weaknesses become visible, the responsible thing is to address them before future pressures become larger, before public trust erodes future, and before an avoidable problem becomes a permanent one. This isn't about politics, this isn't about personalities, this is about stewardship, accountability, and whether this board will act when citizens can clearly see a need for stronger safeguards. Protect the region, protect the district, protect the water, and protect Lake of the Ponds.
Thank you very much, appreciate it. And I'm going to move to Bubba Haggard, has a non-agenda public forum, public comment also.
I think Mr. Simpson was saying.
That's fine. Okay.
You go ahead.
Okay, you yield on the floor.
Sure.
All right, Bubba. come
Yield,
on.
I like all that, the structure.
Yes.
Well, I want to just say, this is a thank you to George for his service. I'm Bubba Haggard, I'm city councilman for Jefferson. We also have Kimberly Parsons, she's the city councilman as well. And, but want to thank George for his 8 years of service. I think he's done a great job for us, and we really appreciate him. At his age, he's a little young to leave this position. I think Dr. Terry was 92. Bill Brown is 97 now, but I think he was still about 85 when he left. So there was still plenty of room left there for you, George. But anyway, we just appreciate everything you've done for Jefferson. You know, him and his wife Michelle have been outstanding people that have come to town. Anybody that comes to our deal on the 4th of July, there's a gazebo and perfect grounds there that people can use, and it was him and his wife that did that. It's no cost to the city, and it's available for anybody to use. So, they're wonderful people. They came into Jefferson and said, what can we do to help, instead of here, let me show you how it's done. And anyway, you and Michelle came, what, in 88. 88. So anyway, all right, I want to again thank y'all, and I know I want to call Kerry, our new mayor. He's a what would you call him? He's a new old mayor. He was mayor in '96 to whenever the pipeline. I was mayor whenever we signed the deal, but he was whenever the pipeline was put in. George, thanks, and we appreciate your service.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Kudos. Thank you, George. Yeah. All right, Mr. David, looks like you got two things here, one non-agenda and one agenda.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
May I start with the agenda item?
You absolutely can. Yes. Yeah.
Pass those.
Yep.
I put this in a letter as well. I don't speak very fast or well, but I write a little bit better. So you can have that, if you could hand it to me, I appreciate it. President Cox and board members, I'd like to address two items. One is the general manager's evaluation, which is on the agenda.
Yep.
And next I'll address Mr. Salmon's report to the Avenger City Council. I'm not sure if the general manager is responsible for the water district's website, but I believe she is, or at least partly so. But I would like to point out that there's still no information about the directors and how to contact them, who they represent. You have to look really deep. You have to look to an agenda and look at the bottom of the agenda to see who represents the 7 cities. And there's no place to contact them individually. And then the website also still bears false witness. It promises that if you sign up for alerts, you will receive news and alerts via email or text. That has never occurred, at least to me. I signed up a couple times. I don't think it has to others. I was informed a while back, many months ago, a website was in preparation, but that it was going to remove this feature. And if you do revamp the website, I urge you to include it. I think it would bode well that you really do want to interact with the public and inform them, and so they can know when things are coming up, when the meetings are. Some people who regularly come here didn't even know there would be a meeting today, because you have to go to the website or the last meeting because of the holiday. Also, please note that Mrs. Brantley has admitted that she was not aware of any environmental challenges currently in the Lake of the Pines. She also admitted that she was unaware of requirements for fair notice of matters of public interest as announced in the Cox Enterprise case. And this is noted in the Attorney General's meeting, and Attorney General's notes on the Open Meetings Act that each of us as elected officials have to revisit each time we're elected, but I don't believe she's done so, and she's not required to, but it might be prudent that she do so in preparation of the notices for this meeting. Well, I got that done within 3 minutes.
I assume he has.
I'm watching it here, he can come and,
Reset it?
yeah. how do I
Okay,
do
we
that?
can do that. As soon as he gets around there, he will do that.
Okay.
Hold on just 1 second.
The second item I'd really like to address is Mr. Salmon's report to the Avenger City Council this last Monday. He noted the cost of the lawsuit. He also told the council that I amended the lawsuit a third time and claimed that I did so because I was unhappy that the board refused to accept the Caddo Lake Institute's recent proposal. That is patently false. The third amended petition alleges another violation of the Texas Open Meeting Act's notice requirements. If you remember, the first time the Caddo Lake Institute's proposal was put on there, it was simply put under the General Manager's report, water inquiry. Relatively few people came and knew about it. But then when I publicly addressed the matter, there were a lot of people at the next meeting, not only because I addressed it, but because the notice was much more plain and clear about what the proposal was and that it was going to be considered. So much so that a lot of the room was overflowing and the media was here. Mr. Salmon also further claimed that the Caddo Lake Institute proposal was fully vetted, and I'm quoting now, was fully vetted by the general manager and VP of operations in detail over a month, and then presented to the board of directors, end of quote. He stated that, quote, the board of directors reviewed all that and did their own research afterwards, and we, that is the board, decided that it was a non-starter. We're not going to do it. It is not justified and not necessary, end of quote. When I was allowed to respond to these assertions, I said the board did not discuss the proposal. I've been at the last 2 board meetings and witnessed complete silence on this board on the matter. Mr. Salmon interjected and retorted, and I quote, "Sure they did. We didn't send you a notice when we were going to have the discussion." That is a striking admission that the board members are meeting and deliberating one way or another, without notice and privately, contrary to the Open Meetings Act. Witnessing continued violations of the Open Meeting Act has caused me to amend the lawsuit. It's not something I delight in. I want to get rid of it. I'd like to settle this and see that this board has proper notices and discusses things in public. I'm not going to have time to get through the last 2 paragraphs, but I urge you to read it. Mr. Salmon's calculations about the water rights that he claimed that they were 25%, is that the Caddo Lake Institute was going to pay for. It's 2.5% if I do the math properly. Thank you for hearing me, and thank you for considering these things when you consider the general manager's evaluation and the future least reported president of the water district. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. All right, we're going to move to agenda item number 4, consideration action on minutes from the April 27th, 2026 meeting. Board, if you...
Second.
I got a motion by Pat, a second by George to accept the minutes as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, motion carries. Item number 5, consideration action on the monthly investment report, financial reports of all current accounts and funds, and authorization to pay invoices for professional services. Ms. O'Seary.
The investment report, there was nothing major, just regular operational activities. The increase of about $130,000 that you see from the previous month was the turkey storage payments that we received. The only professional invoices for your approval is the Sledge Law invoice for the services through April. The running balance of the lawsuit is now at $160,000. For the financial report, for the overall, it's not necessarily monetarily large, but it is over 22%, and that is unemployment tax. So when we budget, we take the last 5 years high, but we do not receive the new rate until March. So we have to budget before that. And so it came in at 1.9% when it was 0.7. So like I said, it's not a lot of monetary value, but percentage-wise, it's 22%. All of our employees have already reached the 9,000. So unless we get new employees, that number should be your total. You see on buildings and grounds for Fund 200, an emergency call out for an electrical outage. That is the $1,049 that you see on that line item. And that is for Fund 200, line item 7015. That one is at 207%. I don't know if you remember, but we had the roof repair, and then we also had the tree clearing in preparation for the TCQ inspection that we had. For capital, we have almost 36,000 that hit in the month of April for the wall water pump number 3, about 6,000 for the chlorine bay safety improvement. We're still continuing working on the Avenger Jefferson ground storage tank. You don't see it in this April financials, but this month in May, we paid a lot of money. So next month, you'll be able to see a big increase. Because if you look at capital, we're only at 18%, but it's gonna jump up next month, and then the additional purchases will hopefully happen in June. So we'll get there by the end of the year on that. Do you have any questions on the financials?
I didn't see in the board packet any additional professional services.
No, sir, just the Sledge Law.
I'll make a
invoice.
recommendation to approve the investment report, the audit, not the audit, the investment report, and pay all and the current accounts as well as pay the professional invoices.
Got it. Motion by Jack, I have a second. A second by Dennis. And all those supporting the motion to approve the monthly investment report, financial report of all current accounts and funds, and authorization to pay invoice for professional services, signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Motion carried. Item number 6, consideration of and action on renewal of property insurance and directors and officers insurance with the Texas Municipal League Intergovernmental Risk Pool. Yes, sir?
We've had a great experience with them. You know, before then we were with TWA Risk Management, and we were paying a lot more, almost double. So, you know, we had a claim back in October, and they gave us $91,000. So I recommend that we renew with them.
Yeah. And that is with TML.
TML.
Yes.
Okay. Board, any questions? All right. Got a motion by Dennis. Have a second? Second. Got a second by George. All those supporting the motion to renew the property insurance directors and officers insurance with TML signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Okay. Item number 7.
Yes, it is under 23,000.
Yeah.
I do want to make a statement before you move on,
Sure.
about the website. So we were working on the website, it was finally gonna go live, and when we were working to make it live, we noticed that it wasn't doing what we wanted it to do. And so they're refunding us the money, and we're gonna go with our local guy that does all of our computers, and so we're working with him, because he's in, I think, Pittsburgh. Right now, he's the computer guy for the Paris College, so he's local, so it's much more better for us than the just online,
Okay.
website that we were using.
Okay.
In between the company and us, there was, we experienced some problems which we were not able to address fast enough, so kind of what they sold us on was not happening, so it's just,
Yeah,
And they were all gonna refund us.
Yes, the check is in the mail.
okay. And the new guy is local, basically, in Pittsburgh.
And
so-
we've been working with them, I didn't know if you knew.
Almost
or not.
done.
Come in, who is it?
Sebastian.
Sebastian Barron?
He was NTCC's head of their tech, and then he went to Paris, so it's.
Paris Student College.
He's the vice president of IT for the Paris College.
Okay, cool.
So we
All right.
should get that, because we were already almost done, so it shouldn't take long to get that one finished.
Good deal. Thank you.
I have one quick question. for
Come out.
the cities. What is this cyber, this is a new expense on TML that they're charging us for.
Well, with all the cyber
cybersecurity.
attacks that have happened and everything that's going on, it's kind of recommended to be included in it.
It's probably good to have, but it's
Yes.
a big hit when you're not budgeting for it to begin with.
Right. But we'll-
And not that you knew to do it, obviously, but to see it be no expense, and also to get $79 charge for cybersecurity that TML wants to provide to us, that's great, but I think they need to be a little more timely.
Yes, and also, I don't know if you remember MIMS, they got attacked. So yes, it's important to have for sure.
That's becoming more common every day in businesses and nonprofits and that type of thing.
Well, the hospitals, UT Health has been attacked.
Yeah.
Mike was getting his cataract surgery, St. Luke's down in Houston. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a definite threat.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, item number 7, information report on water production operations. Mr. Dominic.
It's good to be here, George, thank you so much. You will have to listen to me every month, but I'll try to take my time.
Yes,
I can call you.
I'll be
So,
watching.
so I'm gonna change things a little bit, how we present stuff. We will see if that's gonna work, but before we start, I would like to read a little statement on the operations side. Operations accounts for more than 90% of what Northeast Texas Municipal Water District does, because our core mission is not politics, not headline or speculations. It is the daily continuous responsibility of delivering safe drinking water to 7 member cities in adequate quantity, at the best possible quality, and at the lowest price possible. For more than 45 years, this mission has been carried out successfully and without single interruption. That record did not happen by accident. It exists because of the disciplined operation, responsible financial management, long-term planning, and the commitment of this board and the staff to protecting the liability of the system. It also exists because of the directors who, above all else, have placed the interests of their cities and the districts at the very center of their service. Some critics fail to fully comprehend that operations are not separate from the mission. Newsflash, they are the mission. Every decision this board makes regarding infrastructure, maintenance, treatment, staffing, compliance, and finances directly impact our ability to continue serving our member cities every single day. If our infrastructure were to fail, no outside interest group would be here to restore service, I promise you. Nobody will come here to maintain the pressure or deliver water to our communities. You will not see those people, I promise you. It would be Northeast Texas Municipal Water District, and it always has been, and it always will be. This is why board knowledge, operational understanding, and financial stewardship are crucial. Our responsibility is to uphold and protect the long-term reliability, affordability, and quality of water systems for the system of which our 7 member cities depend every single day. And me as a head of operation, I want to thank you, because in the last 5 years, we extended the life of this organization and ability to produce water by at least 20 years. In 5 years, we extended the 20. So if we continue on this path, long after we are gone, there still will be a plant in Avenger, which is gonna be supporting and producing water for all those communities, and you will never have to worry about water coming out of your faucets. So thank you guys, because without you, that would not happen, simply as can be said. You are not,
Outstanding job, Dominic, outstanding. And thank you for your comments to the board. I think I speak for all the board to say, we will continue our commitment regardless of the complaints that we may face from time to time to support what is in the best interest of not only our cities, but the district itself.
yes, sir.
Thank you, Dominic.
On the TV, what you will see, and then in a slide behind you, sorry.
I didn't know if that was, you fixing to say something, you wanted to say something?
No.
Okay, I thought I saw you kind of, yeah, okay.
So,
Go
so
ahead.
Corps of Engineering is adjusting their website and how they do reports and graphs and other stuff. So it's a little different, and I wanted to kind of switch to this. So this been, if you can take a look, it's been printed out at 8 a.m. this morning. This is the data for May 26, and on the bottom left, you see Lake of the Pines and Caddo Lake. Those are the two most, I would say, related to us bodies of water. And if you see that Lake of the Pines currently is at 228.54, which means we are no longer in conservation pool, we are officially in the flood pool. But what happens in May, it's mid-May, Corps of Engineering creates another pool, and it's called seasonal pool. So what happens is, in May, usually this is after the wet season, so that we should be at high waters, they stop releasing and try to hold water at 230. That is the seasonal pool. That is still considered a flood pool, but they will try to maintain 230 throughout the summer, and then in September, they will keep releasing until they will reach 228.5. Where we are currently at 228.54 means we are out of the conservation pool. So any single release happens right now does not come off of our diversion for our water right, that comes off of flood pool. So you will not see reporting. This is not we are mean. It's just this is not coming out of our pool. Therefore, it's not being reported. The simple thing is there's no secrets behind it. So, so if you take a look at those two lines on the bottom, right now conservation pool says 230, and normally it's 228.5. And we, in the 24 hours, we gained 0.01 of foot. And if you look at the release, we talked to the Corps. They are showing right now what's actually is flowing through the gauge in Jefferson. So this is where the water comes from, the dam. Since the dam reports are based on how much the gate is open, this is actual gauge calibrated by USGS. And it shows 20 cubic feet per second, and at the same time, Caddo Lake is spilling over 832 cubic feet per second. So let's look at the Lake of the Pines. So we have about 20 cubic feet per second inflow. On the left, you can see this is how much water is currently in the lake, 228.54. And if you look at on the left side, the 249.5 is where the dam would spill off. But what would happen is if that ever reaches that level, the water will be freely going out of Lake of the Pines. At that point, Lake of the Pines would hold almost 1 million acre feet. At the current stage, 228.5, it holds about 241,000, actually showing storage on the right, 242,000 acre feet. So if they would ever go to 249.5 or above, it would be at least 1 million acre feet in the lake. Now, that scary number you see all the way on the top is 277. So what that means, if we ever would reach 277, that means everything you know around Lake of the Pines is underneath the water. But this is point at which the dam is designed to fail, means break. So that's 20, almost 20 feet above the spillway. So we are talking a biblical Noah flood event. But at that point, that would be 3 million acre feet.
Be
So-
Hurricane Harvey.
That would be something, so like in October last year, we had a massive rains, and in 3 days, 134,000 acre feet entered Lake of the Pines. In 3 days, that is crazy amount. So if that lasted 15 or 20 days, then we would be high. But highest on record, we are talking about 243.7, and that was the year before the drought record where it got that high. Our current website, I'm just gonna give you a little teaser, it's gonna have all those things linked to it, so when you get on it, you'll be able to really live scroll in and see all those things. So, now it's, the evil Excel sheet, as I was informed was called in the past. Well, there's nothing evil about it, it's just pure numbers from the Corps of Engineering and pure data. So on the left column, what you'll see is, starting from 2020 all the way till today, it shows how much water has left in acre feet, Lake of the Pines. So 2020, 539, 100,000 acre feet, and if you see in the little parentheses, it says, by 2020, it says 2 times LOTP. So each one of those tells you how many Lake of the Pines has been released in one singular year, with one Lake of the Pines still full left in the basin. So if you can take a look, it was 500,000, 600,000, 90,000, 300,000, 700,000, 600,000, quite a bit of water leaving. But if you look at 2026, we only released 36,000 acre feet. Now, let's look to the right column. So, on the right we have, at the same amount of time, how much water was spilled through Caddo. And we're talking 2 million, 2.5 million, 1.7, 2 million. Even in the year when we released, in 2022, when the Lake of the Pines released 93,000 acre feet, Caddo still spilled over 1.7 million acre feet. To give you the reference of all those numbers is, in the last 5 years, average municipal water use in Texas, that 2 million is about 40% of it. So 40% of municipal water use in the state of Texas every year is being spilled through Caddo Lake. So there's a lot of water. Now, percentages. So those are the numbers. There's nothing else to discuss here. But if you look at in the purple in the middle, 24%, 26, 5%, 15, 31, 31. Up to date, this year, we are only contributing 9.16%. So, as Lake of the Pines released 36,000 acre feet, Caddo up to this point spilled over 1.5 Lake of the Pines at almost 400,000 acre feet. Why this number is so significant? We are in the extreme drought. That is what you've been told, that in extreme drought, we will harm Caddo if there's not enough water coming out. Well, we are not. So we are in extreme drought, 400,000 acre feet left, and only 10% of it came from Lake of the Pines. As of this morning, 20 cubic feet per second leaving the dam. It's about 13 million gallons per day. That's a lot of water. You know, for average folks, 13 million gallons sounds like a humongous amount of water. Well, let's look to the right column. 832 cubic feet per second, that's 540 million gallons a day. So basically, every 2 days, Caddo is spilling over more water than the all district treated water customers used last year combined. Literally.
Ms. Dominic,
Mhm.
of course, when we're looking at this
Mhm.
and what we're allowing out and what, say, never coming back to Texas,
Mhm.
we're fine looking at it here.
Mhm.
But you take that to the state level,
Uh-huh.
and they're gonna say, well, what the heck?
Correct.
And of course, we control our lake right now.
Correct.
But when you're looking at the metroplexes and they're saying, well, we need water, who has more representatives in the legislature? Do we? No, we do not. So they can change the law at any time and seize our water. That's why we have to manage it so that not all of it is leaving Texas.
Correct. That is correct. And
Let's clarify one thing here. What we're releasing, we're not releasing anything, correct?
no,
Corps of
currently,
Engineers.
well,
This is all released by the Corps, not by the district.
this is blend of both. So I can get you a data. In the last 10 years,
I mean, we're not releasing anything.
currently we are releasing 20 CFS.
Of the district
Well-
water or the Corps water?
Well, today it's a
Make-
core water.
Make the distinction. There is a difference between the water that we have and the water that belongs to the Corps.
Correct. So today, as of today, because we are above to 28.5, that 20 CFS comes off of core managed water. But last month at the same time, that 20 CFS was coming out of our, because we were below the 28.5. So in a depth information, in the last 10 years, what came out of our, and we reported to the state as part of our operational releases for, from the district's pool, accounted for about, in monetary value, for about $10 million worth, went down towards Caddo. So yes, we are releasing a tremendous amount of water.
And we do report what we
Yes.
release every year to
Right.
CQ, unlike what, you know, some of the misinformation.
So,
that's in.
so Ms. Maybe, you are 100% correct, and as a matter of fact, we did some math. So we have 3 representatives and 1 senator, and just the 4 counties, Cullen, Danton, Dallas, and Tarrant, have 36 representatives and 8 senators. Just the numbers for us to dwell on. And probably way more billionaires and millionaires than we did. But there's a reason why there's no, you know, Q Springs Mavericks, okay, or you know, or Avenger Cowboys. There is a reason for it. I mean, believe it or not, but one out of 15 people living in the 10 counties around us, their life is being saved in Dallas every single year. 1 out of 15. 1 out of 6 have some sort of reason to go there for medical, for entertainment services. So we go there and we add to the traffic. We go to concerts. We use DFW Airport. We go and enjoy the water parks. We go to great restaurants, but you know, evil Dallas. So I'm just saying, we are all Texas. So. Okay. Now, you've been hearing about the evil governor and how he can just take the water from poor little lakes, you know, around close to Corpus Christi. Well, I told you guys last month what was this about, and now I want to show you some numbers. So the governor intervention of adjusting the trigger in the drought contingency between Corpus Christi and Lake Texana was supposed to start at 50%, and they asked if it could start at 40%. I don't want to go too much details, but what we don't know, and apparently people who using it as a fear tactic, they don't know either. So that the lowest the Lake Texana got is 54%. So it never actually reached the first trigger. So the actions governor was doing was what the good governors does, planning ahead and not creating problems which are hard to fix when they happen, but kind of getting ahead and giving them operational flexibility of what they need to do. So take a look. This is the Lake Texana, and it's full, and it's currently 78% full. So God Almighty helped us and refilled the lake. So that's what happens. So okay. This is just a little extra I got for you this time, and now I will try to do pretty quick with my
Dominic, I got a question.
Yes,
So
sir.
back on one of these slides, you show releases, I guess here. What's the drought record?
Drought of record 2011.
So do we have that information?
Yes. In a drought of record, we released 44,000 acre feet.
Of ours.
And at the same year, Caddo spilled over 400,000 acre feet
Okay.
in a drought of record. Now, the lowest, since data has been collected for full year, it starts in 1959. We looked at every single year. And since 1959 till today, the smallest amount of water which left Lake of the Pines was 38,000 acre feet. 38,000 acre feet. That's the lowest that ever been spilled or released from Lake of the Pines. So absolutely, there's not one evidence or record that we ever harmed or tried to harm.
That's from 69 forward?
That's from 59 forward,
From
yes.
when the lake was.
That includes all the droughts, all the events. 34,000 acre feet. That's the smallest amount we've ever left.
Yep.
And this is undeniable. This is just data. The numbers don't lie.
Did the Corps collect data on Caddo back in '59?
There's a data from the creeks and tributaries going all the way down to 1920s. And the study we are going to be doing, it's going to look at all of it. So it's not only what's happening basically, we're gonna look to the back, because I can model you that Godzilla's gonna land in Lake of the Pines next year, it's gonna drink it, and I probably can make a case, there's aliens. So, I mean, modeling can do whatever the modeling, you can ask the modeler to do like this. Can you prove that 200,000 acre feet a year will destroy environment? Yes, he's gonna make the job to prove it. Or you can do kind of like we did, can you tell us how much water is available? We're not steering the outcome, we're just asking a question. So there is a way, again, it's just modeling, but what we're gonna look at is the past. If last 70 years is a good indicator of what happened, then maybe what's gonna happen in the future should be based on what happened in the past. And it's just, I think, the proper way to look at the data. And yes, we absolutely need to have a good grasp on what do we do when there is worse drought of record, worse than 2011. But that's what we do here. We've been doing it since the district was made, and we never failed. So there is a hope. Now some news on our raw water quality. It's been moderate to good. Our alum dosages, coagulant dosages are between 49.9 and 75 milligrams per liter. I want to say something really quick. We got a letter about 3 weeks ago from our contracted aluminum sulfate vendor. And believe it or not, 50% of the world's sulfate comes from or goes through Strait of Hormuz. Okay, so what happens is when that 50% of world supply is unavailable, the price goes up. So we've been reached out to and asked to cooperate. You know, all those contracts, they always have a clause for volatile markets. So I shopped around. We decided to stay with the current vendor. It's about 25% increase, and we normally don't subsidize our alum with polymer because it's more expensive, but we are currently doing a quick calculation, seeing that maybe lowering alum dosages and using polymer as an aid might overall lower that burden. It needs to look at a lot of layers because it's polymer clogs the filters, more filtration, more water is being recycled, etc. It's very complex, but I promise Osiris that we will try to offset this as much as we can to lower the burden, and I believe we're still going to be within the budget. So, Pittsburgh Water Treatment Plant, non-eventful this month. We had a couple of minor repairs. We were dealing with some electrical work on the compressors. Pittsburgh plant operates a little different than Tanner plant, but for right now, again, she's still running. We try not to disturb her, and she's gonna give us a little more. Now going to Tanner plant, a lot of things happening. We probably spent about $200,000 within the last 2 weeks on capital improvements. Just didn't clear for those financials, but the big projects are happening at the same time. This is not due to us procrastinating. This is planned because a lot of those projects involve. We had to wait for every bid to come in, for every project to be designed in a proper way, because similar contractors, for most cases, are doing those works. So it's so much cheaper if they have one crew working on 2 or 3 things at the same place than just coming over 3 months and doing one thing at a time. So this is a massive project right now happening in the Tanner plant. As I told you last month, we awarded the bid for the pump, and so raw water pump situation is being addressed. And as far as Tanner plant itself, we finished installing the newest crane for our chlorine cylinders. We are changing to the way how we're going to be feeding it. In the past, we just had a singular cylinder. We were under basically a loophole from EPA for risk management program, but they changed some writing in it, and now we have to have a full RMP in place. With this in mind, we are going to use 2 online tanks and 2 backup tanks and automatic switchover that would improve the quality of transfer from when the tanks runs out, so we don't lose residual for 15 to 20 minutes on occasion for the change, and that will improve safety because those tanks will be pre-opened, pre-tested, and then operators don't have to engage them if it's middle of the night. They just automatically switch. This is basically the industry standard, and again, those changes will improve us for many years to come. That also includes rebuilding the entire feed room and carrying the water ahead of the filters, which we will get much more credit for disinfection and removal of Giardia and Cryptosporidium before it hits our gray well. Don't want to get too deep into those details on filtration, but those are very beneficial to our operation. We are also working on several projects on the south side. We are converting all our meters slowly to mag meters. So basically what you see here, this is the old meters, the sonic meter where you have like a guiding rail, and you put a little sensor. They are sensitive to weather, they are sensitive to rain, moisture, and they're also sensitive to interference by electrical cables, etc. So sonic meters are usually used, very beneficial for much larger pipes, where simply getting a mag meter of this size would be unbelievably heavy. So sonic meters are 15 pounds, and so sonic meter for 24-inch pipe would be 15 pounds, and the mag meter would be 750 pounds. So they are much harder to change, but they're much more reliable. So on the smaller size, mag meters are much more reliable and overall much cheaper in use. So this is a 6-inch meter installed in Diana. We are awaiting delivery of the remaining meters for Diana 4, Diana 6, Diana 1. Tryon Road already had one put in last year. We are also going to put one in our Southside Booster Pump Station. Alongside with those changes, we are putting chlorine analyzers at every single of our delivery points. So this is something which is not required by the state, but it allows us to get ahead of water quality much faster. We did a pilot program with Hugh Springs, it's been working great. We currently have one in Avenger, in Jefferson, and we're going to have the other member cities within this or next budget year is going to be add on to it, and all south side. So at one point, we will be monitoring every single effluent and chlorine residuals in our system. That will give us much faster. Yes, sir.
Those are monitored at the plant, or you have to do an ORS?
So for the Diana and Tryon Road, they blend water. So they actually, when our pump comes, where they open the valve, the water starts flowing into their tank. That engages a SCADA, which starts their groundwater pump, and then mix it together. So for those locations, we have to have it before it mixes with them, because we need to know quality of our water, not what it happens after it blends. But for the cities like Dangerfield, Lone Star, for our normal member cities, they don't retreat or they don't blend. So that analyzer would also allow them to meet DCQ requirements of the daily chlorine checks, because every single public water system providing drinking water, like Jefferson, needs to have a chlorine sample taken at least once a day. They miss it, it's theoretically violation. And you really don't want to print the number, you get arrested for it. So in this case, if you have an analyzer which is certified by us and DCQ, and you miss it, we can retrieve this data for you, can tell you what was the residual every 15 seconds at your city for the last, whatever, 1 year. So that's gonna definitely improve, and like I said, we will be able to react that much faster. Remember, water, just for example, the water in Jefferson, when the water it goes to Jefferson tanks, before it gets to the city, it's about 6 days old. It takes 6 days for water produced in the Tanner plant to go through the line, enter the Avenger, go in the tank, and then by gravity being fed all the way to Jefferson. So that's why during Storm Uri, when I was speaking with Mayor Baker, we had a good conversation, because there was a fear that with water being scarce at this time, that Jefferson might run out of water, and I told Mayor Baker, you'll be the last person who has water, because the pipe right there holds 4 or 5 days of water. So if we run out, we all go into Jefferson, because you guys gonna have water still coming in. But yeah, those are the things which you know, not everybody knows, and it takes time to learn. And this is much more to it than just, you know, all for or all against. It's really much more to it. So the next project I want to talk to you about is, this is the one which is going to take a lot of money. So on the left there, the left portion with the black curtain, behind the curtain number 2, there is 3 pumps designed to provide water, constant speed pumps designed to provide water for Avenger and Jefferson line. So those are constant speeds. We are converting them to variable speeds. So what it does is we will be able to, kind of like Corpus Christi, with those pumps, if I shut it down, it goes to 0. If I turn it on, it goes to 2 million. If I turn the second one, it goes to 4 million. Well, now it's a lot of pressure. So we would like to have opportunity to maybe, instead of starting and stopping, maybe operationally produce 500,000 throughout the whole day and not 2 million every 3 hours. It's much better for the water hammers in a system. It's much better for power consumption, and it would allow us to rotate those pumps on a much better basis. So this project, alongside with what's happening in Avenger, the Avenger tanks are not just for Avenger. Avenger tanks provide water to Avenger, to Harleton, to Mims, and to Jefferson. And the way how that was designed is we're pumping it into those tanks, and then the gravity takes it all the way down. Some of you might know it, but the ones who don't, you'd be surprised that there's over 220 feet of difference in elevation between the top of the tank in Avenger and the tank inside the Jefferson city. So if you take 1 psi, 2.31 feet creates 1 pound of pressure. So if you have a 230 feet, you have 100 pounds of pressure in 18-inch line. So you break this, and water goes. So this building is going to hold 3 new VFDs, new AC units, and all the electrical for those pumps. Pretty much where the backhoe is right behind it is the vault. We're also going to spend a little extra money and reconnect this line with the south side pumps, which are right next to it. The reason we're going to do this, you see the blue items there on the left? So those are the pumps, the pipes sending water to Southside. They cross the lake all the way to the booster pump station. And for some reason that never was thought about, but so you have, right there you have 5 pumps, but right now there are just 2 for one and 3 for the other. So if we do the connection between those 2 lines with a valve, we're going for about $15,000 work. We're going to gain 2 pumps for one and 3 pumps for the other. So if something happens, like we had a lightning strike, and both pumps for Southside fail, we can open the valve and then use the 3 Jefferson pumps to support continuous water to Southside, and vice versa. So basically for chip change, we're going to almost double the redundancy and safety of the operation. And there are only 2 separate power circuits as well. So the lightning cooks one, we will have the other. So yeah, this when it's again, it's not pretty, but that's what we do. And then those are capital projects, and then whatever happens every day. So we are working on a ladder logic and new stabilizers. We are working on, we washed basins 3 and 4, preparing 1. As when I was writing this report, we were preparing it. As of now, it was already washed. Don't really like too much, you know, it's hard to say here that we're doing good, but I'll share something with you. We had a Southside meeting the other day, and there's a new general manager for Diana, and that gentleman and their crew asked if they could tour the plant last week, and they came in and we did a quick tour for the plant. But they were there about 4 years ago when I first came back, and they actually took their own time to tell the board and their managers how much changed in 4 years in the plant. And the last time they were there was 1 basin completely out of service. There were T-wrenches everywhere. There were gaps in the basin that you could wave to a person on the other side. There were things were falling apart, and we recovered from it. Not only recovered, I believe we are on a very sharp trajectory up. And that was done because of you guys here in this room. It wouldn't happen without the directors and the foresight, and you trusting us, what we do every day is the best interest of the district. We are preparing the pods for the new geotubes. I will have some cool pictures for you when that's gonna happen. And then, of course, on Friday, as Marfilo always says, I got a phone call. Not last Friday, Friday before. And the phone call is, hey, do you have a line behind the church in Dangerfield? Yes, I do. Well, it's leaking. I'm like, oh gosh, okay. So there is a boring company, of course, they're putting internet. Was there a 811 made? Yes. Did we review it? Yes. Whoever wrote it, I think had the map flipped because they said mark it south. They went north. Well, so there was pipe on north, there was not one on south. So we didn't mark it, but they went the other direction. So information is the key. So when we got there was like 5 guys sitting there with a piece of that boring equipment just sticking out straight up like this. It looks like a harpoon. And all I could think was God, they went in and out, and then up. And this is 16-inch line, and mind you, that line was built in the 60s probably. And that's where the Dangerfield still had a water treatment plant. It's where this big church is right now. That pipe was oil and gas pipe. It still has a tar over it, and a rubber. It was the cheapest one Lone Star Steel could probably donate. I don't know. But this is the pipe we're dealing with. This is the pipe which will have to be changed within the next 10 years. And the price like we're looking at is probably $50 million. Just, because we supposedly have all this money, we don't know what to do with it, so.
We are looking at grants, aren't we?
Yes, but there's problem with grants, and I can tell you why. The grants looking at people at the public water system, which are failing, because there's more people who wants the grants than the ones who gets them.
Of course.
So what TCQ needs to do is they need to look at it. They're looking at it and they say, gosh, they're about to boil water. There's people about to get sick here. They don't even know what they're doing. So they have to give them money. So we are always told, you guys do too good. So sorry, next time.
But
So-
we're still seeking.
But again, I mean, it's as I asked you, I think after the TCQ inspection, you want me to get some violations, I'm up for it. But and we are applying for the main grants right now, but just letting you know, there's $1 billion, possibly 1.7 available. There's about 14 billion needs, just like right now today. So
And of course, they also look at the number of people that are impacted.
correct.
And we're, again, rural.
Correct. Well, it's going to get used in the rural, but the best thing what we can do is what we've been doing. We need to get our position financially needs to be strong. Then we will get the best bonds, the best revenue. And we need to find new revenue or and finding revenue doesn't necessarily mean selling water, leasing water, or finding new revenue can be, as simple as going up on rates. Oh, I said that, I'm sorry. Well, we don't want to do this. Yes, sir.
So, we've had several issues with these people boring holes, messing up our pipe. What are we doing for a fine toward the people to understand that you better make sure your maps are right? Because this is shutting down everybody.
So I can tell you that we are very fortunate, and every time the new company pops on our 811 or call to dig list, I reach out to whoever is the foreman for the group, but also who pays them. They get paid by they got those breaks built into their pay. So I call them and I get them to this office and I says don't you be, because they like to fill this paper saying mark 6 miles north, and no, I'm not marking 6 miles north. Okay, you're gonna get me the day in the project, because 6 mile north, that's gonna take them a month. The first wind takes my flags out, and then they are off the hook. So I tell them, you get here, we're gonna look at all your mapping, because they already have it designed, and I'm sitting here with them, and I'm making pictures and looking at our GIS and how our pipes goes, and we know exactly where those things are. Now, some of them are too small, and we don't know about it, and then they fail, but this is our second, and, oh, I know where they live, so I'll find a way to get that money back. So, but to show you what happened is, that our crew got there, the owners were on the property. That's what you don't want to see when you start digging out. What it is this is connection. And I was like, oh God, no, help us. So normally when there's a break, you can put the sleeve on and just pretty much be done. It's almost like a Band-Aid. When you see a connector like this, well then, knowing this is not a standard diameter pipe, so those parts are not available. You need to have them. We do, but it's a scary portion. So we were able to figure it out that the auger didn't go through. It just bounced off and come out of the ground. So you see this wrapping there on the side, and this is a tiny, really tiny hole. There's nothing much to it, but there's a lot of pressure. There you go.
Oh, wow.
So again, their smart feed loader was Friday, but there's a good karma built up, because this is exactly within 2 inches of where we could put the clamp on. So we were very, very happy, because a few hours later, the thing was done, and I don't know if I can find it really quick, but I would like you to hear it. I should have prepared, but there it is. Hello, my name is Jamie, and you and your crew worked at my place last night to repair a water line break. I just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate you all working so hard and getting it repaired last night and easing the stress. So those are the little things why we do those things. City of Dangerfield did not even notice. We've been in contact with Kirsten, and everything was done, and those things just happen. This is our everyday.
I want to say, in the last boring incident that we had, we sent them an invoice and they paid it. And so we're waiting to get all the invoices, and we're going to try to get them reimbursed for this.
Good.
I actually got other cities asking, how did you make them to pay? And I said, I sent them a picture.
It used to be, if you dig in, was it the telephone line? So if the telephone line goes down, or the power, you messed up big time, because the hospital's involved, everybody's involved, so it gets very, very expensive. And those people don't want to do that. The water was like, oh, hey, no, that's as important.
Those things just remind us that this is well operated and well designed system, but it's fragile. This pipe delivers water for City of Dangerfield, and if that break was massive, and sometimes things cannot be fixed fast enough, that possibly could result in no water in City of Dangerfield, and us sending water tankers to Dangerfield until the thing is fixed. We don't have those places in our system, but Tryon Road, before I got here, had a break under Little Cypress, and that was during the wet year, and the water above that pipe was almost half a mile wide. They was not repairing it. They were not using this pipe for 2 months. They were able to withhold it because they had wells. And there's no place like this in Dangerfield, but it just shows you, that some of those communities, like Jefferson, Avenger, Hugh Springs, Dangerfield, Lone Star, or City and Pittsburgh are the only two which can rely on wells. But the remaining 6, plus majority of our customers, if we fail, this is it. There is no interconnection, there is no place to take water from. So we are special in a way, and we have to think about future, because we don't want to be Marshall. Okay, we don't want to be, even the Metroplex systems failed during Storm Uri. We didn't, because way before me, this board decided we need to have generators because we don't know what's gonna happen. So we actually had the state-approved power plan before they approved it. That's why we passed ours in flying colors. So when they asked me, how do we know if the emergency preparedness plan would work? I says, also known as Storm Uri. They're like, what do you mean? Well, it worked. We didn't fail. Oh, thank you. Sign off. It was done. So, sorry, I know it's getting late. I just want one more thing. Again, Murphy Law, also Friday. We are working on Avenger, uncovering all the pipes in the tank yard, because we are getting rid of the 24-inch, we're switching to 12-inch, just the complex planning and excavation. Well, there was some old pipes, old things, not everything is on the blueprints. We weren't able to go one way, so we decided to go the other way, from our vault. And of course, boom, I got a phone call, says, hey, we found a pipe which shouldn't be there. And it's before the vault, and the water's coming out. So I called Avenger Water Department. Very professional help, very quick. I didn't have to involve them to come in. We were able to do this in the house. And we broke the pipe. This is a 4-inch pipe taking water to 2 households. One is very rarely occupied, and the second one belongs to Mr. Simpson. So I hope he doesn't add it to his lawsuit. I didn't do it on purpose. It's just a joke. Yeah, we were able to repair it very quick. Did they clear you? Because city has to do the baptiste and everything else. And when I follow up, they said everything was fine. So those things just happened. But luckily, there was repairs within 2 hours, and I can tell you how do we work as a system. We don't carry 4-inch, we don't have 4-inch pipes, so we don't carry stuff on hand. This is Friday afternoon. Well, we do have member cities we work with. I am 24/7 available to any water director or utility person and mayors and city officials. That's just what we do. So I made a couple phone calls. I was able to talk with Hugh Springs. I took my truck, I drove there, I got all the parts from them, and the repair was done, I believe, within 2 hours from when we, were aware of it. And then we returned the parts, and that's what we do. We help each other. We are the system. The actions done by Avenger affects every single one of you. Action done by Pittsburgh affects every single one of you. There is no singular mind. You support your city, but whatever is the best for the district, I guarantee you it's the best for every single one of you, because we are the system. So, sorry, I got took way too long. I'm gonna get in trouble. So, any questions, please go ahead.
I got, so let's talk about this backup stuff.
Mhm.
So before the water district came in to play, all these cities had to have well water.
Some of them had well water, and 2 of them had water treatment plants.
Okay, so the wells.
Three actually.
So the wells are still out there.
So what the Hugh Springs Dangerfield were taking water from Liquid Pines. They had their own treatment plants. Or City still is using wells. You guys were on wells, and you built the plant to support your wells. Jefferson had their own water treatment plant, and I can tell you how with Jefferson that was very specific what happened there, because they were deciding to become to get the water from the district or not. And they were having some problems with the water quality, and the district was helping with paying for the inspections of the tanks. And we scheduled divers, like if there was a better deal if we did this for everybody. And the divers went into Jefferson clear wells, and they put the camera in, and they were looking at what was clear well is the water which from there it goes straight to the houses. Like that's your finished product, good to drink, supposed to be. So Pete Wright, my predecessor, when he was reviewing the video, he noticed something shiny in a tank, and he actually, they redirected the divers to go in there. And they found about a fist-size ball of mercury in the clear well. Okay, so where the mercury came from. So at that point, Jefferson was using mercury switch pumps. Basically, those pumps were looking at the level And they're using this old technology, using the mercury switch, which fills the pressure, and then when the pressure is too low, it opens up and it fills the tank. When it's high, it stops. Just, that's how technology was. But when you don't maintenance it, or it gets old, or you can't replace things, then things start leaking. So over probably 15, 20, or whatever amount of years that was, that mercury accumulated in the clear well. So I think that was, the Mr. Hoggart was the mayor then, or at least on a council.
I can't recall, if that was during 94 to 96, but that's probably one of the reasons that we decided to go with, the district with the water.
Yes, so ever since, literally uninterrupted, I mean, you guys might have ball watering notices before, but they were not due to the district not delivering water. So the way how we work is we put water in the tanks. We don't provide pressure for any city. We put water in our tanks, district's tanks, and they are piped into each city's pipes. And they, based on their needs, pump water out of there. And once this water leaves the tank, we have no control over water quality, water pressure, or anything about it. We will help when we ask, but we lose control. TCQ will not listen to us. I cannot do nothing after it leaves the tank. So.
I had I don't know if this is the correct place, but have we heard anything from any of the cities on the grant that we've offered?
Yes.
So far, the city of East Springs has gotten theirs, and Avenger is almost, they wanted to wait, they can do it in part, so if they wanted to submit 5,000 and then later on 5,000, but Avenger wanted to wait to get their full 10, but we know that they're almost there. I think those are only two that we have gotten.
Lone Star says they are almost there too, and then they have a project, they ask if they can roll into it. Kirsten says she basically just needs to fill out the paperwork. So I will make sure that before the
They have until
deadline.
September.
It's just a new program, so they,
Yeah.
so.
But
yes.
we're getting close there.
Yes, that's actually, hopefully by the next board meeting, I will have
Okay.
a good news for you, so.
And time flies.
Oh, trust me.
I bet a lot of them have, I mean, with all the infrastructure needs, I'm sure they have it, they just have to get the invoices together.
Yeah, it's like we had a staff meeting, and that's, I was tasked with getting it done.
Thank you.
It's gonna get done.
That's in lieu of the old system where you had to submit an invoice that you paid $6,000 for a meter. Is that correct? And we got rid of that because the cities were on, off.
So I can give you,
Yeah.
I can give you an example. With Hugh Springs, I got with city managers, we discussed it, and he did some auditing of the water loss. He believed that was due to excessive flushing. It was not the case. It actually was due to, so once you eliminate the flushing, it's not a problem, and you are, paying us for way more gallons than you're charging your customers, then the water goes somewhere, or your meters don't work. Okay, so they decided that they're gonna go into a newer technology for metering. So basically, after we reviewed the application, they spent $18,000 on the new meters, and we just wrote them a check for $10,000.
All 7 cities are entitled to the $10,000.
Correct.
All they have to do is submit
Correct.
these invoices, and it must be done by September.
Correct. And-
Period, or they lose it entirely.
Yes.
Correct, and I've been in contact with Alan, with the water department, and like I said, I'm not gonna let any city not to use it.
We brought that, I think, probably all the directors have brought that to the attention of the councils, ours was informed back in March. Don't know whether, did you get anything from Jefferson yet?
Not yet.
Okay, I'll follow up on that, make sure that our people hear about it. But that's just almost free money there. I mean, there's no way in the world people not going to.
That's how that was designed, so it's gonna be almost surprised, like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
So we now
The
we can,
previous one was fire hydrants, and a lot of our cities would get them, but then would just leave. like,
Or they will
leave
stockpile
installed.
hydrants.
Yeah,
Right.
so this is much more usable, because they
Yeah,
all have repairs.
The last go around
Well, we
on ours,
made it
we had
pretty
a
old.
grant.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's very
we had, we had a grant pending for ours, so we didn't apply for this because it's gonna screw up our grant where we were getting our hire there. So we didn't even come to it, but this year, it's completely different. All you've got to do is show $10,000 worth of stuff, come pick up your check for $10,000 every city. Almost free money. Another example of the way the district puts money back in the hands of the cities.
And actually into infrastructure, because that is important. I mean, you can have pretty roads, but if you don't fit the pipe underneath the roads, and every time it breaks, you gotta cut that pretty new road into slices.
Yeah, and every time you do that pretty new road, you're gonna have a leak.
Yeah.
It's like, please don't do that till you fix this.
Anything else?
Thank you, guys.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you, Dominic.
Board,
Yeah.
questions for Dominic of any kind? Dominic, great job as usual and great information for the board. We appreciate you very much. We're gonna move on now. There was no need for any kind of motions or actions on that report, correct? Okay. Gonna move on to item number 8. And at this time, the board will convene an executive session under the Texas Open Meetings Act, Section 551Z.074, Texas Government Code, Personnel Matters, to receive information on, discuss, and otherwise consider the annual evaluation of our general manager. 11:17, and into executive session. Board, restroom break, coffee, and we'll meet in the boardroom back there in about 5 minutes. Good job. Okay, we're gonna reconvene at 12:07 from executive session. And, we're on item agenda number 8, and I'll entertain a motion at this time.
I'll make a motion to extend the general manager contract 1 year, which carries the term through May 31, 2028, and award a one-time performance incentive in the amount of $18,000.
I second the motion.
I got a second, I got a motion by Pat, a second by Dennis. Any discussion? All right. All those supporting the motion to extend the general manager's contract for 1 year and a annual performance award of $18,000 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, motion carries. All right, we are moving. Oh, we've already done 9, reconvene. Number 10, oh, we done 10 also, look at here. And we're to number 11, item number 11. Information report provided by general manager on the following topics: update on audit service and recognize of one of our directors. Go ahead, Sarah.
I first want to say that I have my eldest child is 16, and I've been with the district for 16 years, so I can say that the most important parts of my life I've been here, and I just feel really blessed to have y'all as directors and be able to work with the district for the last 16 years, so thank you. I got an email from Pat asking me if our auditors had mentioned dropping us, and I was like, no, so I contacted them, and it turned out that Andrew is the one that answered. He said, I thought Laney called you, and I said, no, he didn't call me. So Laney, before y'all two got here, he was the one that would come and present our audit to the board. He got a stroke. And so, and then another of the firm that started the firm passed away. And so they decided that they're no longer gonna do audits anymore. They're gonna stick to tax and financial consultation. So they did recommend, I talked to Andrew, he recommended Wilson Henderson out of Texarkana. So we're working on trying to, get another auditor. So hopefully next month or by July, we'll have something to you. But as of right now, Walker and Arnold will no longer be doing our audit. And also, as you know, George did not seek reappointment. So today's his last official, but he will continue to serve until Jefferson appoints its new director. And on behalf of NETMWD, we'd like to recognize George for his dedicated service and leadership since 2018. He was the board president 2021 to 2023, and we appreciate your commitment and contributions to the district in those last 8 years. You're really going to be missed.
Yeah. And we have a token of appreciation to you, Mr. George. It says George Ostad, Board of Directors, 8 years, 2018 to 2026. Let's get a picture here. Let me shake your hand first, and then we're gonna hold on to this big baby. Come on.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, let's get all of it.
Come on, board, get up here. You get in front and hold that by yourself. I'm gonna get right back behind you. Come on, Dad. Oh, Lord. Come on, Dennis.
That's what we thought it would be.
Right there. You're right there. Come on. Can you get all of us right here? Come on. Dennis, come in here. You good?
Say rain.
Right.
George probably didn't want to show
There you
his
go.
teeth.
Thank you so much.
Oh, she wants
Thanks, Dominic.
Yes.
Yes, awesome job.
Come back.
Please return.
Oh, come on back. Come on, Lord. I mean, Jack, come on in here. Come on, let's get right here.
And we do have a
Awesome.
cake.
What?
We do have a cake, yes.
I've been wanting to eat
Everybody's
some
more than
ever
welcome
since
to
I got here,
have
buddy.
a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Let me just say, It's
Congratulations.
been hanging around for.
Let me just say to the board,
No.
now listen up.
Let me just say to the board and to the public and to the staff that working on this board for the last 8 years has been one of the highlights of my life, to represent Jefferson on this board and to work with all the people that have served on the board and all the people that have served on the staff. I've never had a more enjoyable, and I must say, easy to get along with group of people. And I've served on about, I think at the last count, 13 boards or commissions, either in Dallas before I came to Jefferson in '88, and since then on other things. But this is far and away the best thing I've ever done, and it's for a good cause for water, and I know that the leadership that all this board and staff have shown will continue to keep water forefront in our minds. It is going to be the problem. It is the problem, and I know that you all have got a huge task in front of you to preserve and protect all of our citizens in the basin here with the water that we have. I want to thank each and every one of you for allowing me to serve.
Yes. Feeling is mutual with all of us, George. You've been a great director for the city of Jefferson for 8 years. We appreciate all of your hard work and your service.
Thank you, sir.
All right, very good. Item 11 is done, so we're moving to 12. Consideration action on setting June 22, 26 for the next board. That's the fourth Monday.
It is,
Okay.
but,
Okay.
last year y'all wanted to do a budget workshop. I don't know if, with it being summer, I don't know how the
Yeah.
dates are. If you do, I would like to do it July 6th and then have our regular July meeting on the 27th. But if you want to just do one meeting, we could even have lunch and come back and do it in one day. The 29th would be better than the 22nd because we have TWA the week before, and I have to do budget, so I need the extra days as much as I can.
Okay.
I
So-
don't know what y'all prefer.
What is your recommendation
Um,
as general manager?
we've always done it in one day.
Yeah, we
Okay.
never had a budget.
I prefer
But
one day
somebody
on the
mentioned it,
29th.
and so that's why I didn't know if y'all wanted to.
One day on the 29th?
The 29th would be better,
I
that gives
move
me
we
an
do on
extra day.
July the 29th.
Okay.
Okay.
June
Got it.
20th.
June
I
29th.
mean, yeah, June 29th.
June
So
29th.
that's gonna be the 5th Monday, but that gives me an extra week to work, which
All
I'll
right,
need.
that's good.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. We got a motion by Pat, a second by Jack to make the next board meeting June 29th, 2026. Any discussion? Okay. All those supporting the motion to make the next board meeting June 29th, 2026, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, motion carried. Item 11 is adjourned. I'll entertain a motion. Got a motion by Dennis, a second by George. All those supporting the motion to adjourn signify by leaving. Oh, yes.